G'day and welcome to Kenty Blitz, your daily hit of NRL news. Kenty, we're back on Monday. Excited?
Always excited on Mondays.
For a week ahead. Tell me about the weekend, mate. What'd you get up to?
It was very quiet for me. Actually, did not do a thing. I went to a function Friday for La Perouse Rugby League Club. They had their sort of annual fundraiser.
How was that?
It was
wild and woolly.
Vigorous. Yeah, no, it was. I really enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. They're good people, and had a good time there. And told a few stories and whatnot. So it was nice to sort of spend some time there. But after that, mate, I did not do a thing, to be honest. Just stayed home and watch footy.
Put the feet up.
Put the feet up, yeah. Just look, I was due for a spell.
Very good, very good. We don't want to go too easy, mate. People will start worrying.
Yeah, I know. I'll be spotted somewhere. Don't worry about that.
Okay, very good. Well, mate, let's start off. There's been a lot of talk on the referees on the weekend. Let's start off with Shane Flanagan at the Dragons teeing off on the referees on Saturday night.
Yeah, and look, fully in his right. I know he'll probably get suspended for it. Fined for it. It looks like the NRL will come down on him there. But that said, I think he had a lot of merit to what he said, to be honest. Like when the game is so crucial to where they are right now in this season, the Dragons, they're now 6 points out of the 8.
Yeah.
Okay, that win would have kept them in contention. Yep. It would have kept them in the fight. There's enough time for them, particularly the way the competition is evolving, for them to make up those 4 points. 6 points is probably too far a bridge now for them. So I understand his frustration and the way that the game was delivered to Canterbury at the end.
Well, let's talk about those two things. Let's talk about the Karaz Leilua. Play the ball.
Well, total mistake, and the referee got it right.
Yeah.
The referee got it right, and the wood duck in the bunker, he got it wrong. And that's the really disappointing part of that is where you should not be making mistakes. You have the benefit of all those cameras, and you have a little bit more time than the referee. The referee is an instinctive reaction a lot of times. Okay, he sees it, bang, makes a decision. That's why we have reviews available now in the game. I know that the bunker's under pressure as well, but they have to get it right. They have people there who are also helping. The fact is, you look at Karaz puts the ball down on Leilua's foot. Now, Leilua moves his foot into the area, but also he's part of the tackle. He's entitled to be part of the ruck. He's allowed to do that.
Well, Flano's point was that Karaz never got to his feet.
Well, that was the other point to it, but that's the point was Karaz has to get his feet to play the ball. Now, he was getting up. Some players do put the ball on the ground before they get to their feet.
But you're not allowed to do that anymore.
Well,
that's
you're not
the
supposed. Well, you're not allowed to roll the ball back before you're fully to the feet.
But you're not allowed to put the ball on the ground to get up onto your feet. You have to be on your feet, play the ball. Yeah. That's the new rule.
And look, that's going to take us down this awful territory now of to play the ball.
Yeah.
But let's stay with that for a moment.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a
minute. They got it wrong. But unfortunately, an apology is not going to be enough for Shane Flanagan. It's probably going to leave him light in the wallet because he broke the NRL's rules.
What is that, 10 grand, is it? What is it?
Oh, look, it's depending on what they say. Look, it should be 10 cents.
Yeah.
Okay, it should be a fine in name only, to be honest, because he everything he said had merit, and the NRL should acknowledge that. Unfortunately, we don't get Graham Annesley, or fortunately, depending on your point of view, we don't get Graham Annesley up now on a Monday.
Well,
he would be up there. Well, he'd be up there apologising all afternoon for it. So that's why he stopped doing it, because every Monday became a sorry-a-thon. Okay, from the NRL, but the Dragons can't get the game back.
No,
that's the crucial part, and after that, the game was lost. I know there was other incidences. We look at other things that happened in the game, and you can't put it all down to one.
Well, there was something
so crucial
in the last 2.5 minutes. Kick-out passed the ball into Sloan, and Sloan, and they got 6 again. I mean, the crazy thing about that game is, and as for the Dragons fans out there, in the first half, Adam G was there, and I think it was Kick-out. Bulldozed his way over, was held up. Adam G was right there, called a try, and then the bunker pulled it up. And he was right there, and I was thinking, that's the first time I've ever seen somebody score a try, which was a little bit contentious, and the referee blows a try. Normally they always go upstairs. And then the bunker overruled, which I thought was crazy. And then, which it was the right decision with the bunker. Then there was about six agains during that first half from the ref, from Adam G. And then in the second half, he turned him around to the other side. It was just...
Yeah, it's been picked up on more than a couple around the game, unfortunately. And
the get square.
I've been saying this for too long now. I'm sick of seeing one half being refereed one way and the second half, suddenly that team that's so poorly disciplined in that first half, they come back into it and suddenly their discipline improves incredibly. And the other team, their discipline just goes out the window. It is.
So what do you think happens at halftime?
Look, what's happening is I've spoken about this unconscious bias. Referees tend to focus, as we all do, and as fans listening, they don't like to admit probably, but the truth is they just generally watch their team. True. So they see every decision made through the filter of the side that they're watching. Referees are unbiased, although there are referees who they do have their teams that they supported as kids or whatever. Okay, now professionally they're unbiased, but what they do is they tend to pick up on things during a half of football and a team will be offside. They'll be slowing down the ruck too much or whatever, and the referee will start to pick it up, and the referee keeps picking it up. But then what happens? He gets to half time. Now, in the old days, we know for a fact, and they got exposed for it. They had a code word sent out to the referee to tell him what was happening with the penalty count. So if it suddenly got out to 6-1-7-1, referee, how's Jerry going? And they'd say, they'd drop the clue in, okay? And the referee would then square up. And that is this whole issue I have with this game, where the referees manage the game rather than officiate the game. Saints paid the price for it the other night. They burned up a lot of juice in that first half. Okay. And then the referee did his, let's just say, let's just say circumstances changed at half time and suddenly all the mistakes were coming from Canterbury.
Seemed to be an absolute square up in that second half.
Well, it looked like that. It did look like that. You got to be careful of alleging that. But
that's why it seemed like.
It seemed like, yes, to our unbiased eyes. So the point of it all is essentially that it's just... I just think it's unsatisfactory. And as a game, we're going down this far too much. And this is where the danger of the 6 again rule, because the 6 again rule happens so quickly now, there's no time for inspection. Okay, what was that for? Yeah, he was offside. Okay. And I spoke before when Andrew Abdo came out and confirmed that they are looking for an average of 3.5 seconds per tackle all game. It shows me the game does not know what it's talking about. The administration does not know what it's talking about when the whole emphasis of every team, all 17 clubs, is to win the ruck. And you win the ruck, to win the ruck, you have a quick play of the ball if you've got the ball, and you have a slow play of the ball if you're defending. And teams are better at attacking or defending than other teams. You work hard to be better than them, and you want to be better than them to get an advantage out of that. But if the NRL is just ignoring that and just trying to average every tackle at 3.5 seconds, it's absurd. And same as if you hold your discipline, Warren, if you're a team like St George, Illawarra, going out against Canterbury, who have been premiership front runners for most of the season, one of the things that Shane Flanagan preaches all week, boys, we've got to hold our discipline. No cheap penalties. No carting them up the field with cheap giveaway penalties. So you concentrate on that because that's one of the few areas that you can control to counter the advantage they have over you in playing personnel and those sorts of areas. Is you maintain your discipline, you give away fewer penalties, and hopefully that gives you some sort of advantage in possession, which will then negates their advantage with their skill level and their talents and all the rest of it. But when the referees start to square up or the penalty count ends up 7-8 or whatever, instead of 7-4 or 7-3 or 7-2 like you needed it to do to try and win the game, and which I just don't get it. And that's the part that gives me the shits, really, to be honest. It really does. And head office won't address it. They won't acknowledge it. They won't respond to it. They just pretend that it's all me sitting here and other people sitting here with tinfoil on our heads. Spruiking conspiracy theories. Okay. But I've been watching the game a lot longer than Andrew Abdo has. Okay. And I've been watching a lot longer than most of those people in there are anonymous now anyway. Okay. And the people who are listening to this have been watching the game for a good time too. And they know what they see. And we're being treated like fools.
Yeah, we are.
You know, and that's the embarrassing thing. And this is where, you know, Shane Richardson came out some weeks back and he said that the struggling teams struggle to get penalties.
Yeah. Do you believe that?
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Of course they do. And it's been going on for too long.
Yeah.
Now, I get that. And that not, I would even suggest, I'd add to that and say it's not necessarily a deliberate thing. It's just that you expect the good teams to be good. You expect the poor teams to be poor. And so you have this bias when you come into the field, the game is on, that's what you're looking for because that's what you know. And again, when they try to manage the game, though, when they see, look, I saw a thing on the weekend. Regan Campbell-Gillard got pinged for the play the ball. Okay. It was about 15 minutes into the second half, if you want to go and have a look. Okay. Now, he got pinged for a roll through. Now, for the first 6 weeks of the competition, we went down that track, and then all of a sudden they just stopped doing it. They stopped penalising it. Okay, explain that. I want the NRL to explain that to us. Okay, explain that. Explain why there was suddenly that rule just dropped off a cliff.
Yeah. Well, the Cronulla game on Friday night was a joke.
But listen to this. So what happens? About 15 minutes into the second half, Campbell-Gillard gets up, rolls the ball through. Now he does actually make a motion with his foot. He doesn't connect with his foot, but he does make a motion with his foot. And I thought it was a pretty tough call, to be honest. Referee Belinda Sharp, who was way out of her depth doing this game, and that's another thing, the NRL, they found a game that has no impact on the finals, so they get a token woman in to come and do the game. Okay? I can't cop that for a number of reasons. I'll get into that later. But firstly, so she calls penalty for the roll-through. Samuela Fainu gets the ball for the Tigers on the turnover because of the penalty, because of the
incorrect by the ball.
And plays the ball exactly the same way. Exactly the same. His foot doesn't touch the ball. His foot doesn't touch the ball. So what is going on in there? Like, seriously. The frustration fans must feel, okay? Now, I didn't have a dog in the fight in that game, okay? So I watched it, but I thought, you know, I felt for the Titans. They had Jerome Luai drops the ball cold, doesn't get picked up.
Yeah, what's going on with
that? The bunker, which seems to come in at inopportune times, doesn't get involved in this one.
Yeah.
I just thought it was
well, that was a disgraceful decision, that knock on. Yeah,
the refereeing I thought was really poor, and I thought she struggled to maintain the game, to be honest, to maintain control in the game. The amount of things that were missed in the game was extraordinary. So I just think that, that was just a poor decision. And again, I think Tigers and Titans are entitled to say, well, why are we getting treated like mugs? I get, we're all for advancement. I get all that, equal opportunity stuff, right, okay? But for equal opportunity, you've got to be able to first be able to do the job. And if it was a man who came up with the same performance as her, I doubt he'd be in first grade next week.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the problem with that. And the fact that it was given to Tigers-Titans game, which both teams are really battling to make an impact on the finals, shows that the NRL is aware of it too. They just don't want to admit it. So there's a lot going wrong on the weekend. The play the ball crackdown to suddenly just come out of nowhere, to suddenly just be involved, and it gets honestly like as soon as
round 20 or
round 20. Look, they're trying to get it in place for the finals. Okay, that's what they're trying to do.
You tell them in the grand final they're going to pull that up. No way they're going to do that.
Well, see, Warren, that shouldn't even be a question.
Yeah, I know.
The fact of the game is the way it's officiated. It shouldn't be a question because it should be. If you do it, if you cause the infringement, it's a turnover. If you not if the referee at the referee's discretion, there's too many of these at the referee's discretion. So when you have a referee like Sharp on the weekend who just missed stuff, and you're starting to say, well, hang on, what's happened here? Now I think she just missed it, but. Yeah, they put it down to, no, she just didn't believe that was worth a penalty. That's just bullshit. It's bullshit. And the way that they're refereeing now with this managing the game, it's killing faith in the game.
Yeah, it is.
Like fans are so cynical now on decisions that they're seeing, and every fan is feeling it.
Yeah. So
every fan.
What do they do about the roll ball? What do they do about the play the ball? What do they do?
Look, they've either got to be – look, I don't like the roll through, okay? I hate the roll through. I like the traditional play the ball.
Yep.
I think if you do it, and you just stick with it. And look, if you stick with it long enough, eventually you'll get it right. But what's happened is we've had nearly a whole generation of players coming into the game now where they've never played the ball properly. And you see some players from certain clubs are particularly bad at it. Now, I think they're taught to do it that way because it's quicker play the ball. And the coach has said, they're letting us get away with this, let's do it. And I think they've come up and that's all they've learned. But I've said, make it like the no ball rule in cricket. Okay, the rule is you play the ball with your foot. Now, that's fine. If you don't do it, it's not a penalty. Let's not go down that route. But if you score a try
within that six or
within that
tackle,
on that tackle,
okay.
If you score a try, or if you go to a referee's a challenge, okay, it goes back to the play ball. And if the play ball is not played properly, and you've scored a try and the play ball is not played properly, it's a penalty against you. And it just goes back. Now, what'll happen there is by its own natural way, the coaches will say, boys, play the ball properly. We don't want to. It's like I cannot still for the life of me understand why bowlers insist on getting their heel on the crease. Bring it back half a foot length, never bowl a no ball, and you'll get, over the length of the career, probably another 2 to 3 dozen wickets. It just does not make sense that the advantage of bowling the ball this much further, like 3 inches further forward, is negligible when you lose a whole wicket.
I guess the argument,
and that's what the argument is with this.
Well, the argument for that is, well, you're trying to get every single little inch. So if you get a little bit closer to the batsman, then you might more of a chance. But but
over 22 yards,
I get
a 2-inch advantage is not that big.
I get it. But what the issue is going to be with this idea is that, you know, when players are in their own 10 metres, they're just going to be tunnel balling it under their legs.
Well, take the risk. That's true, but take the risk. Yeah, that's a fair argument. Yeah, make it if it's in the half, you can penalise. I just think it's a fair way to look at it.
All right, let's move on. Tell me what the consequence for Grant Atkins should be for that play the ball.
Just a kick in the bum and do it better. I wouldn't drop him over it.
Right,
but
even though it costs the Dragons the game, and
the issue is, and this is why it's so frustrating for coaches. Des Hasler lost on the weekend. Now, his team was poor, the refereeing was poor, and in some respects you could argue that they were unlucky to lose, okay? It was a dog of a game. It was awful to watch, okay? And, Tigers were very lucky with that field goal. Yeah. Okay, they cocked it up a dozen different ways and then got lucky through the genius of Adam Dewey, okay?
Did you get there on the weekend? Your favourite spot on the hill?
No, I didn't. I stayed home on the weekend. So.
You would have been well missed.
Yeah, they were looking for me. But I think they've just got to the referees have just got to get it better, because what's happened, Des is now probably going to get sacked.
Because he didn't make the 8.
He can't make the 8. It's impossible for him now to make the 8. Now, he hasn't had a great season. Let's be frank about that. But Shane Flanagan, he's fighting to get some credibility in his team, and he's looking to win games. So when he goes out into the market, he can say to guys, listen,
we're a chance.
We're showing something, okay? A loss like that puts them further down the ladder. Like these refereeing mistakes are having impacts on people.
That's a good point, Kenty, because that's a long-lasting, it impacts next season as well, right?
Well, it can. And that's everyone just fobs it off. Oh, don't worry about
whatever,
it.
We'll get over it.
Get over it. Look, mistakes happen. Yeah, but when you say mistakes happen, though, the silence from headquarters, though, like Abdar has not addressed the referees all season about what they've been doing. He's the CEO. He's supposed to be the face of the game. It just astounds me that they just sit there and just treat us all like fools. And there's this sort of ivory tower aspect now of NRL headquarters that they just sit back and just, we don't care what anyone says or what anyone thinks. We're running the game the way we want to run it. And I don't think anyone, other than what they are doing financially, which we all basically put at the feet of Peter V'landys, and he's financial nous, and he knows, I don't think anyone thinks they're doing a good job. Like, I'll continue to bang on the pathways and development and grassroots footy. They're dying, and the NRL just sit there and say, "Well, look at this hotel we've bought over here, and look what we've done here," and it's just ridiculous. They are killing the game, and they're not admitting it.
I want to talk about Desi, right? Because we've seen that blow up, and it was a monumental blow up.
Good on him
too. And news today is that the players didn't take the blow up to heart the first time, so he called him out and gave him a second blow up.
Yeah.
So, which is good. I think the frustrating thing for Des is at one stage there, the Titans were up 14-12.
Yeah.
And they had a scrum in front of the goal, in front of the post, and they didn't get there within the time.
Yeah.
And so West Tigers got a penalty and it's 14-all. Can you believe that?
I think it was Sam Verrills trying to organise, or I know it was Verrills or Brimson.
Yeah, it's Brimson at the back of the scrum.
Brimson at the back of the scrum was trying to organise their defence. But it is such a rookie error. And at that point in the game, at that scoreline, 14-12, like, come on. Okay?
I think that's a disgrace.
And but see, Warren, I wonder what, and when you get in a chat with footy players and they talk about how tough it is and the commitment they make as being professional footballers and how much work they've got to do, you see some of the most basic mistakes being made. Okay, now that is unforgivable. That mistake, from a coaching point of view, from an elite footballer's point of view, that you're leading 14-12 with the game as tight as it was, and you concede a penalty that results in a 2-point goal that levels the scoreline, which then changes the complexion of the game completely. Both teams play differently at 14-12 than if it's 14-all. Okay, that's both sides are suddenly looking for a field goal. There's all sorts of different avenues that now have to get played out with that difference in scoreline.
Yeah,
and for the Titans to sit there and be so stupid, a football team, that you cannot get your head in the scrum. You've got 40 seconds to pack a scrum. You cannot pack a scrum in 40 seconds. Okay, I just no wonder Des
pulled him in for a second.
Pulled him in, and look, I would have given him one on the plane trip home as well, just to make sure. Honestly, this week should just be a flogathon, right? You know the old days when you used to say you play like bastards. So the coach go, you know what, boys, you didn't have a go on the weekend, so you're going to start running this week. But these days, all this bloody strength and conditioning and high performance, the GPS on the back and all that. Oh, they can only do this amount of Ks this week. Bullshit. Just get into them. Get it, mate. Honestly, it does not. I don't get it. Yeah. And I think that's a big reason in the lack of discipline. Like you see some players, they get iPads given to them. They get a player. The coaches will go and sit for 4 hours and watch video, cut up all their little edits, send it to the player. They can see whether the players watched it or not, so the players have to watch it. Some players will sit there, put the TV on, press play on their iPad, and have the iPad just sit there playing next to them.
Give it to the kid.
Yeah, no, the kid might turn it off, but they just sit there and just let it play next to them.
Yeah.
The lack of professionalism from supposedly elite footballers is staggering. I think there's probably a little bit of it in every club, but there's more of it in the ball clubs.
Yeah.
And Des drives to a standard. And the Titans have just not shown an appetite to get there.
Nah.
And I look at the way...
And that's probably why that's it for him, right?
Yeah, but I look at the way that they've performed this year, and I just think they're a rotten playing group as a whole. Like, not all of them individually, but as a playing group, there is just something wrong there. And if Des can't fix it and weed it out, then I'd say it almost needs to be blown up.
You're saying badly recruited or just...
I just think that they don't understand. They do not understand what it takes to win. They have no concept. They think that they are doing all that is necessary to win a game of football, and they have no idea. Now, the word is Rebecca Frizzell, who owns the club now. Her and her husband, Brett, own the club, 100% of the club now. They bought the other 50% a couple of weeks back. That she has sort of planted herself in at Titans headquarters, and she is having a look from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Now, all the junior pathways are sitting there and trying to get their house in order because they know the Titans are going through it. They are a shambles. It's like the club has been allowed to rot, and they don't know that they've been allowed to rot, and they think that they're doing what everyone else is doing, but they're only doing about 75% or 80% of what the other clubs are doing. And clubs, sometimes coaches, often players, do have a capacity to be able to fool themselves into thinking they're doing all they need to do. And they're not. They're just simply not doing it. Some of the dumb things that they do as a team are extraordinary.
Yeah, that was very disappointing on the weekend. So it's Desi's 500th game.
It's his 500th game this weekend against the Warriors.
Is this it? Is this the last one?
Well, there is a whisper now around that he'll get this game and then that'll be it. Yeah, because if he does get sacked now, because he's got the clause that if they don't make that, they can sack him. He's technically then he can be sacked after November 1, which means that they can only have to pay him until November 1, which means now we're in July. It's only less than.
But what's the point in sacking him?
Well, the point is what they'll try and do is get a new coach in and just try and revive. Yeah, basically it's like the old camper blowing on the embers of a fire, hoping to get the fire going again. That's what the new coach does. Comes in, just puts a bit of warm breath on it, and see if there's a bit of a heartbeat still that we can get going. But that's all it's going to be. And what that'll do, that'll be used as a signal to everybody that, we do actually have some talent here.
To potential new players as well. It's change.
We're changing. We've got, look at what we're doing. We're showing some life, and let's try and get onto it now. Let's start it now. Let's not wait till next year. But who does that remains to be seen. There's no, I doubt, unless you're going to be, if you're unaffiliated now or you're looking to do a head coaching job, unless you're going to be promised a job for next year and a few years after, you're not going to go and coach the last 6-7 weeks, whatever it is.
And
now.
Particularly if it's an assistant coach whose team is, in a chance of making the finals, they're not going.
Well,
Josh Hannay.
No, those guys, you won't get them. You'll only get, it'll be someone from the Titans assistants, coaching staff somewhere. They'll take over. What that does for the club, who knows?
Yeah, what's the point? They face the Warriors this weekend.
Magnificent Warriors.
Yeah, they were very good on the weekend. Well, they weren't that great, but to get a win was phenomenal.
The Warriors in the past would have, we're about to lose a game, and they would have downed tools. But this Warriors outfit, they're there to win. And just the way that they won on the weekend after the bell, they showed that, look, it was just a lot of individual skill. It wasn't any great teamwork or anything like that. But the fact that they were there, the fact that when he did make the break, he had plenty of players around him, and that they just never gave up on the play. And that's, I like the way the Warriors are going. They haven't really lost a lot with Metcalf being out. Tanner Boyd's come in and he's doing a reasonably good job of still just managing them around the park. They weren't terrific against the Knights. The Knights did turn up and had a crack. But the fact that the Warriors are just, when you're a team that's winning games when you don't play well, that can be a good sign. You don't want to be seeing that in rounds 26 and 27. But if you're doing it now, it gives you something to build on between here and the finals. And the Warriors they're staying in the fight. It's really admirable how much they're staying in the fight, that they haven't said, you know what, we've lost our halfback, we've lost our big front rower who were instrumental to them getting to where that sitting second on the ladder at one point this season. But they've lost them both. I think they are, personally, I think they're too big a loss to be able to maintain a premiership threat now. But they're staying in the fight, and that's all you can ask of them. And you look at what they're doing against, say, what the Titans are doing. Just the difference in attitude and approach to their game. It's chalk and cheese.
That kind of win ugly was always the trait of, Wayne Bennett teams, right?
Well, Wayne Bennett coaches effort. Okay, he's always been an effort coach, not a tactical coach, an effort coach, and that keeps you in the fight. That keeps you in the fight, and that's what the Warriors did. The Warriors just stayed in the fight. They didn't have a right to win the game at that point in the game, but they went out and they were in a situation because they were trying to win the game.
I was trying to find these six agains, which is another bullshit thing, to try and find the six where they are buried somewhere. But I noticed South are right up the top in completion rates, which I thought was quite interesting, right? For a team almost who has the spoon. They're up in the 80%, which I thought was quite interesting.
Yeah, that's good, but it shows they're not playing really aggressive football, though, South. It's basically, let's just play within ourselves because we don't have a lot of talent available. They've got so many players.
So talk to me about what's happening there, because the season's over for the Bunnies. Wayne Bennett.
Season's over, and what we're getting right now is a masterclass from Wayne, okay? Right. Wayne has recognised the season is over. He's recognised that the season is over because they've got so many injuries, okay? They've got Latrell out, they've got Cody Walker out, they've got Keon Kaloamatangi out. They've got so many star players out. Campbell Graham's out. Like, these are all rep quality players.
Mm-hmm.
So Wayne has done, what he's done is he's just taken the tension out of it all. And someone said to him last week, you don't look like you're feeling any pressure. And he says, I've been doing this 40 years. I don't feel pressure. Now, Wayne feels pressure, but he also understands the season's gone. So he's not going to put pressure on his players. No. And what that does, because that can affect their confidence. Mm-hmm. And the guys that are still there, still doing the job. The one thing they want now is to be feeling happy. The only chance they've got of winning games right now is to be feeling free and happy and just let's just go out and have a crack. If Wayne's jumping on them and trying to drive in, come on boys, that brings pressure to them, which can then affect their performance, given they don't have the star players around. So he's gone the total other way. He's just lightened the place up. The mood's good. Everybody's feeling great. If they don't win another game, well, look at our injury list. That's why we didn't win another game. Okay, like it's a real lesson, I think, particularly for coaches, to how you deal with a situation where they can't make the playoffs. So why put all that pressure on them to win this game, and why continue overcoaching and guys? And a lot of coaches do this. Guys, look at our injuries. We've got to step up this week. You guys have got to step up. I know we've got a lot of injuries, but you need to. And what happens out of that is the players feel that weight of that. And it then affects their performance. Wayne's gone the other way. It's. I just think people should be sitting back looking at this going, you know what? This is just a guy who just knows what to do. Like he's not put any pressure on his players. He's not put any expectation on the fans. He said, look, we've got injuries. We're playing with our confidence. That narrative's now changed to it's all free and easy. They can't make the 8. They're not going to get the players back. So let's just enjoy it. Let's just go out and play footy. Guys, just go and have a go. See how we go.
So just on big coaching decisions, what did you think of Lachlan Galvin and Serrato's move to put him as the playmaker? Do you think it worked?
Yeah, I do. I think it was shown in that last pass. He won the game with a cutout pass that took vision. It was right up Galvin's alley the way that unfolded. Look, I still think they're clunky. I still think they're not the finished product yet.
Work in progress.
But what Galvin showed in that moment, game on the line, beautiful pass, hit him on the chest, overlap pass. It was exactly what the coach is looking for. It was a try assist, which is that's been the big issue, isn't it, lately, with try assist with Sexton and whether he's had enough this year. Well, Galvin just with that one just cemented his spots. Scored a try early in the game too, so He played well.
Kenty, just one last thing. You watched the fight yesterday?
I did, yes.
And what'd you think?
I think Tszyu finished, mate, to be honest. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's been, the coverage in it's been really unusual because I've never seen a guy, he was losing the fight, but he was not without hope. And for whatever reason, he just didn't want to continue. So he quit on his stool. Now, I know, look, we get into the whole other part of the welfare part of it, but from a pure fighting, boxing point of view, I can't remember the last time a fighter in a world championship fight, just because he wasn't winning the fight, decided he'd had enough.
Lay down Sally.
Well, it was a bit, but we won't be covered that way here because everyone wants to love Tszyu. But I can't remember the last time a fighter said. Now, he was brave when he did fight. Towards those last couple of rounds, he was swinging from the hips. So he was brave. He wasn't winning the fight. Now, you can argue, well, he wasn't winning the fight, save it for another day, but there won't be another day. So when a fighter gets knocked out the first time, they're never the same.
Yeah, right.
There's just something, and no one can really be sure whether it's psychological or physical, but something in their psyche changes, okay? The next knockout comes a little bit easier. They tend to find the punches a little bit harder, and they feel the punches. That's happened to Tszyu in between his 2 Fundora fights. He got knocked out pretty badly. And I think him quitting on his stool, as he did on Sunday, is another in that chain, okay? I think something psychologically has gone in him. He'll never be the same fighter again.
Yeah, okay.
It's done. It's done for him. He can still come back here and he can fight local fighters back here. But I think on a world stage, I don't think he'll win a fight again. He'll never win a world title again. I think it's all over.
Well, there you go. Thanks very much. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.